All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostle Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick, couple things. A couple things I came across, a couple pieces of info over the last few days. And one being today I think it was today or yesterday. I seen on a End Time headline, he posted about 4,000 Swedes that have the Microc-Hip. Now, if you know, a few years back, around 2017, 2018, you had Sweden come out and say that they were implement that people were getting their Microc-Hip implanted in their body. Now, at one time, I think they said it was the dude posted. He said it was 4,000 people, but I looked it up, and it said that it's as of now, as of 2024, that number has increased immensely. All right, because even though ways back, I remember researching. It said that at one time, throughout the whole earth, that 58,000 people on the earth have the Microc-Hip. I forget what year that was supposed to be calculated by, but I looked up today, and it's from the AI overview. So I typed in, do more than 4,000 people in Sweden have the Microc-Hip? And an AI overview says yes. Significantly, more than 4,000 people in Sweden have Microc-Hip implants. Estimates suggest that between 50,000 and 100,000 Swedes have received implants by March 2024. So a year and some change ago. It said the technology is widely adopted for conveniences like paying for items, accessing transport, and opening doors, reflecting a broader acceptance of integrating technology with the human body in Swedish biohacking culture. Now, go into this biohacking stuff. You have then what team is a college football team that they're doing a pilot thing for facial recognition or something. You had Trump just say that the AI or automated something will be able to control biological weapons. You got in Europe. What did they say? What did they say in Europe? I'm just reading that they're gonna be using a biometric something, and then also too you had in that thing, the whole thing that happened in Vietnam. You had in Vietnam that 86 million people bank accounts were closed because they didn't want to comply with the digital ID. So what is that saying? This devil, the Lord is putting a spirit on these devils because it's prophecy. He's putting a spirit on these devils to bring that cause for all to receive a mark in their right hand on their foreheads, man. And remember, this is in 2018. All those people, the first bit of people in Sweden started getting the Microc-Hip implants, and now they said as of March 2024, they said that between 50,000 and 100,000 Swedes have received implants. It says significant numbers, while early reports in 2018 noted thousands of people have received implants. The practice has continued to grow. Estimates by March 2024, a source estimates that the number of people in Sweden with Microc-Hip implants could be as high as 50,000 to 100,000, far exceeding the 4,000 figure. It says convenience. It says microchips often offer a contactless way to use public transport, access gyms, pay for goods, and enter buildings without needing physical cards or keys. But see, that's how they gonna get everybody. Hey, you ain't gotta worry about a wallet. You ain't gotta worry about keys. You ain't gotta worry about losing all this shit because you're gonna have it implanted in your body. But remember, this is something mentioned in the Bible that said that if you get this, you're gonna be cast into the lake of fire. It said the practice aligns with Sweden's biohacking movement, which embraces integrating technology with the body for various purposes. But what's the ultimate purpose? What's the ultimate purpose as far as prophecy? To buy and sell. Matter of fact, let's get that. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, and it reads, "And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." Right? And that's what they have over there in Sweden right now. You have 100,000 people with 50,000 to 100,000 people that have micro-CHIP implants over there in Sweden. So that means that you have close to a few 100,000 people on the earth that have it now. Because last I heard, I don't know if Sweden people was included in this number, but throughout the whole earth, they said 58,000 people had the micro-CHIP. So now they're saying in Sweden, 100,000 people have it. And it says in verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. Now, being that in Revelation, John clearly wrote something that was written mad long before where we're at now. And what's happening now is what he wrote about. It says identifications. It says implants act as digital identification, digital ID. And it says similar to a key card or a digital wallet. They can store information such as emergency contacts or social media profiles and can be used to pay for services or open doors. And see, that's how they go. It's going to be having so many uses. But what's the use mainly? To buy and sell. That's what they're doing over there in Sweden now. I'm gonna go to one of these articles. So this article, this is from October 22nd, 2018, and this is from NPR Technology, and it says thousands of Swedes are inserting micro-CHIPs under their skin. Now, mind you, this is from October 22nd, 2018. So this is about to be 5 years old. No, excuse me. 7 years old. 7 years old. All right? And it said technology continues to get closer and closer to our bodies. From the phones in our pockets to the smartwatches on our wrists. Now, for some people, it's getting under their skin. Literally. It says in Sweden, a country rich with technological advancement, thousands have had micro-CHIPs inserted into their hands. The CHIPs are designed to speed up users' daily routines and make their lives more convenient. And that's why they're going to get people, making it more convenient. Oh, you don't have to worry about losing your keys. You don't have to worry about losing your wallet. You don't have to worry about losing this. You don't have to worry about losing that. But all in all, whoever gets it, the scriptures already talk about what's going to happen to you. It says you shall burn in front of the Lamb, which is YAHAWASHI and the holy angels. So that day of judgment, you'll be destroyed. And in Sweden, it says what they're very high in technological advancement. So it would make sense that they come to a country like Sweden. But what's ultimately going to say? He calls of all. So he's going to go throughout the whole earth and say that to buy or sell, you have to get this micro-CHIP in your body. And it's prophecy from the apostles on down of GMS on down that preached the word of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI have been talking about this. I remember when I first came into the truth, which is 10 years before this, 2008, 2009. The apostles talk about micro-CHIPs and the MOTB, and that's what it was. And now look where we at now. Now they're actually implementing it. They're actually rolling it out, and then they're going to implement it. And it's a prophecy. This is going to happen. The Lord said His word shall stand. And the Lord said, "What? I have the prophets out first, prophesying it, and now the actions are coming." It says that the CHIPs are designed to speed up accessing their homes, offices, and gyms is as easy as swiping their hands against digital readers. They also can be used to store emergency contact details, social media profiles, or e-tickets for events and rail journeys within Sweden. Now, this is in Sweden, 2018, 7 years ago. Yeah, it says more than 4,000 Swedes have adopted the technology, with one company, Biohacks International, dominating the market. The C-hipping firm was, and the first person to receive the micro-C-hip was in 1999, which I believe he was a doctor or a scientist in the UK. That was the first person to receive a micro-C-hip implant in their body in 1999. And now we're talking about 2013, 2018, and fast forward, now we're in 2025. And they said since 2024, up to 50,000 to 100,000 people in Sweden have the Microc-Hip implanted in their body already. It says he was a former professional body piercer. It says after spending the past 2 years working full-time on the project, he is currently developing training materials so he can hire Swedish doctors and nurses to help take on some of his heavy workload. Having different cards and tokens verifying your identity to a bunch of different systems just doesn't make sense, he says. Using a C-Hip means that the hyper-connected surroundings that you live in every day can be streamlined. It says many early adopters come from Stockholm's thriving startup scene. Eric Frisk, a 30-year-old web developer and designer, says he was really curious about the technology as soon as he heard about it and decided to get his own C-Hip in 2014. So this is 4 years before 2018. Somebody got a C-Hip. I remember being in the truth when brothers had the signs out there. They had that club, I think it was in Spain, and I believe the year was 2008, where it was a lady getting her joint scanned so she can get into the club, and that's what they talk about in the articles. Access to entry to buildings, your wallet, your medical history, and these things that brother been talking about for 20 plus years. 20 plus years. And now the end is speaking, and now these devils about to bring it out. Now people already have it. That's what we talking about. People already have the C-Hip. But he hasn't caused all yet. That's the prophecy. He caused them all. So now what he's doing is he's getting this new technology, this new system in place. He's unraveling this new system. And it also, the beast system is going to bring out the mark of the beast, the MOTB, which is the RFID Microc-Hip, and it's going to require all people to get it. And in order to buy or sell, you're going to need that implanted in your body. And no, it doesn't matter if it's it said, the scripture does say your right hand, but it doesn't matter if it's in your right hand or in your left hand. That doesn't matter. The Lord's still going to destroy you the same way. It says it's just completely passive. It has no energy source or anything. So when you tap it against a reader, the C-Hip sends back an ID that tells the reader which C-Hip it is, he explains. Swedes are very pragmatic, and the C-Hip is useful, and since a lot of people know each other in the tech community, it's very tight. The trend has been spreading, and people have seen the benefits. Frisk says, and this is from 2018, keep in mind. So we're talking about 7 years, no, it's 2025. So we're talking the 2018, so 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, with 7's completion, the dude said he got a C-Hip in 2014, so that's 11 years ago. So come on, like what are we really doing here? What are we really talking about? This ain't just something that, oh, they just getting it started now. No, they've been started it. Now they're about to usher it out to the masses. Hold on, let's see the judgment. So I read Revelation 13, 16, and 18, where it talks about the mark. Oh, wow, I was already in. I was just so stupid. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9. And in the caption, the caption over the verse of Revelation 14 and 9, and the blue letter in the King James, it says, doom for worshipers of the beast. All right? So this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. Now, this is the New Testament, and this didn't come to pass yet, because you got people talking about, oh, that's the Old Testament. Well, even in the New Testament, some things in the New Testament did come to pass. They're coming to pass. They're about to come to pass. They're passing, but they haven't come to pass fully yet. All right? So this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, and it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So it didn't specify right or left, because you got some people who say, well, it said right hand, so if I get in the left hand, I'll be good. I had some niggas say that to me before. No, you can't get it in no hand. All right, it says verse 10, it says so that same man, that same people, those same people that got that mark in their forehead or in their hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahawashi. But that wrath, that indignation without mixture, that it says that wrath poured without mixture is going to be that nuclear fire, man. That lake of fire. And then the fire Yahawashi is coming with. Yahawashi, the angels, the host of the holy angels that's coming from the heavens. They coming with supreme fire, man. We talk about fire that's not of this world, of this earth. The Lord is bringing all the heavens. He's bringing the heavens to the earth. And he's going to take you out, Esau, and he's going to destroy all the people that get this mark that these devils about to bring out. Which, speaking of which, that's a perfect segue. Now let's go to that Iran thing. Because we talk about the fire. Shalom, shalom. Okay, hold up. Iran says, slogging my tablet acting stupid. So ICBM. Here we go. Hold on, bear with me. Hold up. Oh shit. Hold up now. Hold up. Oh, they trying to be. Hold up. Hold up. They being funny. Hold up, man. Okay, oh, they took some. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Hold up. Hold on, hold on. Yo, they took one of these shits off, yo. Nah, they took one of these articles off, yo. I don't know why this. So this is from India.com, because there was another article, but I don't see it on my tablet. So it says Iran talk about a missile that could potentially strike the U.S. It says meet Khorram Shuhur-5, Iran's ultra-long-range ICBM capable of striking the U.S. has a range of, okay. So it says, yeah, the Khorram Shuhur-5 missile is Iran's first ICBM with enough to strike anywhere in the United States. It says Iran has successfully tested the Khorram Shuhur-5, its first intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, which is reportedly capable of striking targets in the United States, raising concerns in Washington about Tehran's growing missile capabilities. In an interview on state-run Arab television, senior Iranian MP Mohsen Zangina said that Tehran had tested its first ICBM, which is one of the most advanced missiles the country has produced. So what does that also say? That what? They're preparing war. And that war, these nuclear warheads, these nuclear missiles, they're all part of the Lord's wrath without mixture. The cup that he about to pour on Babylon, man. It says 2 nights ago, we tested one of the most advanced missiles in the country, a missile that had never been tested before, and the test was successful. I mean, even under the current circumstances, we are conducting what's essentially a security test of an intercontinental missile, Zhang Guilherme said in an interview aired earlier this week. It says, notably, days before the lawmaker's revelation, visuals emerged on social media showing a distinctive trail of ballistic missile launch was seen in Iranian skies. Images and videos shared online showed a long, bright trail behind the missile, followed by several spots that seemingly appeared to have been left by the missile's engine. It said the visuals are believed to be from the same missile launch Zhang, whatever his name is, talked about. However, it's unclear whether the projectile was an ICBM, as there are no signs of the engine trail reaching into the upper atmosphere, as the effect is obscured by bright light, raising doubts about whether the Iranian missile reached space or the upper atmosphere the video show. Yeah, they hope. Oh, no, America hopes anyway. It says an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, must reach the Earth's outer atmosphere to gain the momentum required to reach hypersonic speeds upon re-entry, but the Iranian missile launch did not reportedly display signs of reaching space. However, Iranian experts argue the initial test was designed to gauge the missile's behavior at a close target, and future launches will showcase the missile's true potential. So they saying that we didn't even show you the true goods. We didn't show you all of what it could do, because they said it was for a close target. But the United States is not a close target for Iran. But they saying that it can strike anywhere in the U.S. Yo, there was another article that mentioned the small hats and motherfucking Iran. Hold up. Maybe it was this. This the picture it looks like, but hold up, man. Yo, they took that. They took that article away, man. Because it actually mentioned the small hats and America. So that was last Thursday. Where the hell? Oh, God, I'm going to finish reading a little bit of this article. Okay, so here's so it's another article. I can't even pronounce this this platform because I think it's Iranian. So it says, okay, it says less than a month after the end of June's 12th day, June's 12-day war with the small hats, Iran conducted a suborbital test using a satellite launch vehicle in a move experts said showcased its defiance and determination to advance its strategic goals. A 2019 report from the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency concluded that expertise in space launch vehicles can be used as a testbed for developing an ICBM. While the Islamic Republic has gained multi-stage launch capabilities through its satellite projects, there is no evidence yet of a fully developed intercontinental ballistic missile. Shaheen Madouras, an international relations scholar and security analyst, told Iran International. Now the knowledge is there, but until this moment, there has been no test and no sign of a built intercontinental weapon, he said. If such a missile had been developed, Israel would already be within range, but the danger will also extend to Europe, while questions remain over whether they have the guidance system or technology to reach the United States. But they said they do. And it says Western governments have repeatedly voiced concern over Iran's satellite launches, warning that the same rocket technology can be used for intercontinental ballistic missiles. Tehran, however, said the space program is peaceful. But we all know where this is going. We all know that's how this is going to end. This is going to end with thermonuclear destruction. Matter of fact, let me get the, what is that? 2 Peter. Hold up. 2 Peter. No, I'm in 1 Peter. What the hell? Oh shit. 2 Peter. So there's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 7, and it says, "But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word, are kept in store." So but the heavens and the earth. Because remember, the Lord said what? He's going to shake the heavens and the earth. Remember how the water during the flood of Noah, how it reached above the earth? It's that high? That's how high the fire is going to be, man. The fire is going to get high. Remember, he said it's going to be a lake of fire. So that means the fire is going to be high and wide. So the fire is going to spread throughout this whole landmass known as America. And that's why these devils, all these elites, these rich ass motherfuckers, that's why they all buying bunkers. They all going down to bunkers. All right? And it says, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of the ungodly men. And we read that in NLT, it reads, 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. And by the same word, the present heavens and earth have been stored up for fire. They are being kept for the day of judgment, when ungodly people will be destroyed. So that's what we're waiting for, man. And we're hoping to be part of the godly side, because there's enough ungodly people to go around in this motherfucker. I mean, you really have our people. You have people that's really just pure wicked, man. And especially here in America, this soil, Babylon the Great. Remember what the Lord said was reserved for this place. Babylon is fallen. It is. Matter of fact, hold up. Let's get that. So there's the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 1. I'm going to start at the top. And it says, Babylon is fallen. The fall of Babylon. And Babylon is spoken of in Revelation. It's talking about America. Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon. And they talk about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon was inhabited again after ancient Babylon empire, what have you, went down. But it said the city that is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, that's also Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon. That place of great confusion. Where they got this whole thing now, man. Speaking of which, they got this the whole thing now, where this AI shit could be a dude talking, but if you FaceTime somebody, it could be a straight up badass chick. A real attractive female face. I seen this one guy, he did it. It was Taylor Swift FaceTiming. Like it was like him, but if to the other person it looked like Taylor Swift was FaceTiming the person. So that's how demonic, and that's how elevated this devil's got with his wickedness and his technology, using that to push more wickedness on the earth, man. So it says, Babylon is fallen. So Revelation 18:1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. Verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That didn't happen to ancient Babylon. That's not how ancient Babylon went down. Ancient Babylon went down through a transition of a kingdom. And then it went to the Persians. But that land, which is modern day Iraq, is still inhabited by them Afghanistan people. It's called now Afghanistan. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Not Afghanistan, Iraq. Salakia, Iraq. I said Afghanistan. Iraq. Modern day Babylon, ancient Babylon, back Nebuchadnezzar days and all that, is modern. The land is modern day Iraq. Verse 3, and it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And that's what's happened with these nations. They got rich off of America. And they were made drunk. And they were drunk off what? Her bullshit, her philosophies, if you will. And the nation drunk, they got rich, they were made rich, and said they waxed greatly. They waxed rich greatly. But now what? It's now the whore is done. Now it's over. It's no more goodies. She's no longer ripe. She's used goods. She's damaged goods. That's what America is right now. That whore. That fact. Because after Babylon went down, they didn't become a cage for unclean and hateful birds. So that's the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 1, and it reads, and after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, hallelujah, salvation and glory and honor and power unto the Lord our God, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And we go into the NLT, it says songs of victory in heaven. It says, after Revelation 19 and 1 in the NLT, it says, after this, I heard what sounded like a vast crowd in heaven shouting, praise the Lord, call all YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Salvation and glory and power belong to our God, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, not the other nations. Here it is, these other nations, they got their gods, but yet their gods is where they at. You just had a major, I forget, I don't know what it was, but something happened in I think that was Hong Kong, where it was like a bunch of flooding, like damage. It was like these cats was inside or they was outside, and they was like just getting tossed around by water. Hell, it's raining right now. Raining kind of hard too. But yeah, where these gods to save? Where these nations gods to save them from the perils that the Lord is laying on them, man? Storms, earthquakes, war. Where these other gods at? Where's these other gods to explain what they're gonna do for their father? Where's Allah at? Where's Buddha at? Where's Jesus at? All these gods have been quiet since the beginning, because there are no gods. The Lord said, he looked and he said there was no God with him. So what? We have the one true living God. The Israelites have the one true living God, and his name is YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, the same one that giveth us rain. And you can't prove otherwise, man. The history aligns with the scriptures. Everything aligns with the scriptures that the one true living God in this book is the truth. These other religions, these other doctrines, they don't explain shit. And then let's say they did explain something back in the day. Explain now. Explain what's happening now throughout the earth. The Lord said the heavens and the earth. The Lord said, hold on, let's get that. Hold up. Hold up, what's that? So this is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 5. And it reads, now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, now this is the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, talking to the Israelites after he delivered us out of Egypt captivity, which he's about to do one more time, one and final time, deliver us out of captivity, because we're not going to go in captivity ever again after America is destroyed and after this shit is all done away with. We're going to be in the kingdom. We're going to be in the everlasting kingdom. World without end under who? Who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. But his name is YAHAWASHI. He's going to come back and he's going to show you how to do this. He's going to show the world what it's like to really be a God. And they're going to see how he gives his people that power that's given to him from the Father, Yahweh. He's going to show and prove that he is the one true living God. But yeah, so Exodus chapter 19, verse 5, it says, now therefore, if you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. The YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI said, for all the earth is mine, is his. And there's been no other God to dispute it. Because why is there these gods letting Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI kill their followers? The Lord said what was going to happen in that land of Israel, what's going on, what's happening right now. The Lord already had the prophet speak about it, man. The Lord already covered all the grounds of world events, current events, past events, and future events. The Lord covered it all. I'm going to read that in NLT. So this is Exodus chapter 19, verse 5 in the NLT. He says, now if you will obey me and keep my covenant, you will be my own special treasure from among all the peoples on earth. Aren't all other people on earth, these other nations, these other humans? They are people on earth, right? And I was it's pretty evident that the Israelites are the greatest people on the earth, the salt of the earth, if you will. It's evident. Everyone, and we're the most loved and most hated. We're the most loved and most despised. We're the most imitated and the most, whatever. Because we're under curses, but the Lord is about to take the curses off of us, man. That's the beauty of it, man. The Lord said, what? I'm not going to have you down forever under these nations, man. Our time to shine is coming, and it's going to be when Yahawah gets his glory, or the world sees his glory, and then he said, what? You should be joint heirs with him. You should be glorified with him. He got to come back first. And until then, we're just going to be in this cesspool known as Esau's kingdom. No matter where we go, the curses shall follow. I'll read verse 6. So this is Exodus chapter 19, verse 6, and it says, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation, separate nation. We're separate from all these other nations. Nobody like the Israelites, man. And it says, in the holy nation, these are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, because this is the Lord speaking to Moses. And Moses passed the message down to the Israelites. And we read that in NLT, it says, and you will be my kingdom of priests, my holy nation. This is the message you must give to the people of Israel. Nobody else. Not all the other humans. The Lord said to Moses, go to the children of Israel, the descendants of Jacob. The people that come from what? The bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, of the covenant. The Lord always spoke about what? A covenant, the agreement, the arrangement he made with Abraham, the arrangement he made with Isaac, the arrangement he made with Jacob, the oath, the promise that goes to Jacob. It says what? We shall inherit the nations, but it's going to be under who? The star of Jacob, which is who? Yahawah. That's what's about to take place. Yahawah about to come back and take over the earth, which is already his. This is already his, but Esau just got it. I guess you want to call it a long-time rental, but what happens when you rent something? You always got to give it back. And the Lord is about to take back what he's leased to Esau, which is the earth, the fatness of the earth. He about to lose it. And there's nothing he could do about it. And he's going to lose it very horribly, too. He's going to lose it. Remember, the Lord said there's going to be the wrath without mixture. So that he coming with straight heat. You think these wildfires, you think all this shit that's happening, these little rains, you think it's bad now? Wait till Yahawah comes back to the earth. It's going to be quite the sight. All right? So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Microc-Hip. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, a.k.a. the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom, shalom to those watching. Hey, shalom. We got to just stay strong, stay diligent. Man, we just stay what we're doing. We got to do what the Lord already said we got to do to, you'll be able to receive salvation. We just got to keep doing it and never waver. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.